Ready? It's the tech folks who are really in charge. Good evening. It is 7:03, and this is the Mililani-Waipi'o Melemanu Neighborhood Board. Welcome. It is Wednesday, September 24th, here at Mililani High School H Building. I'd like to begin this meeting with a call to order, and please invite you all to stand up if you are able so that we can all recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mahalo. Just as a friendly reminder of housekeeping for tonight, this is a hybrid meeting. That means that we are meeting both in person and online. So in order to make this meeting efficient and respectful, please raise your hands so that I can recognize both you here in person as well as the many people attending online. And what I like to do is I like to stagger between online and in person. And so just make sure that I can see your hand. And we'll also open it up after board members. We open it up to the general public to ask questions as well. Okay. Without further ado, I'd like to give it over to Rachel so that she can take a roll call and we can establish a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you. When I call your name, please let me know if you're present. Bass?
Present.
Present. Harmati?
Present online.
Online, thank you. Flores?
Here.
Here, present. Freed?
Present online.
Online, thank you. Gustafin?
Present.
Thank you. Inouye? Present. Kanehe?
Present.
Thank you. Ka'apana-Aki? Absent. Kim?
Present.
Present, thank you. Kennard?
Present online.
Absent. Oh, you're online, thank you. Pupuka'a? Absent. Darsha Lee? Absent. Marilyn Lee? Present. Nagamine? Absent. Alex Ozawa? Absent. Catherine Ozawa? Absent. Park?
Present online.
Online, thank you. Rana? Present. Ross? Absent. Segura?
Present
She
online.
mentioned
Sorry.
online, thank you. Oh, Ross is here. Okay, thank you. And then Segura's online too. I saw her. Smart? Absent. Christina?
Present.
Present. Williams?
Present online.
Online, thank you. The 16 members present, we meet the quorum. Thank you.
Noting 16 members present. Thank you. Okay, let's get right into monthly reports. I don't see Honolulu Fire Department here in person. Is there a representative here online? Okay, seeing and hearing none. If they walk in, we'll try to come back to their agenda item. All right, I also don't see Honolulu Police Department here in person. Is there a representative online? Okay, seeing none. If they walk in, I will come back to that agenda item. Next up, U.S. Army Combat Aviation Brigade 25th ID. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I am Sergeant Olivia Cowart here to give the talking points from U.S. Army Garrison. Good to see you all again. I'll get started. First, we have more job fair information. U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii is holding its next hiring fair October 14th at the Oahu Veterans Center in Honolulu. Begins at 8:30 a.m. and goes till 2 p.m. This is open to the public. There will be job offers and provisional hiring the day of the job fair. Advanced applicants can go to www.himwr.com and you can find more information there. I would suggest bringing in 2 references, proof of ID, social security card, resume, or application, because they will be offering jobs on the spot. There are opportunities in business operations like golf, bowling, food services, plus many more. Once again, I've said this every time, I believe. They are looking for child youth services and have openings.
If you want to work in child youth services, there is a variety of
Benefits for work. Any no worries. There's a variety of benefits that come with getting a job, such as retirement, access to all recreational facilities, discounted childcare, and training, and also commissary and PX privileges. So if you're interested in working with children, we have a position for you. Come out and see what is available and what opportunities await. The next point is their U.S. Army Garrison published the training advisory for Oahu on September 3rd. If you want more information or have specific questions about our training that happens, please contact the community concern line at 808-787-1528. We appreciate your understanding and patience while we expect, more noise and training to be going on. A bunch of stuff happened over the course of this month, like small arms blank fire, as well as aviation training. What still is to come at Schofield Barracks, there will be artillery, mortar, and demolitions training from the 27th to the 30th of September. This will also include night live fire, including late evening and early morning hours. If you would like to be added to the training advisory list, email usag.hawaii.comrel@army.mil or contact the community concern line at 808-787-1528. Now, additionally, the Gold Star Mothers and Family Day ceremony will be happening on September 28th. The U.S. Army Garrison Hawaii and Survivor Outreaches Services will be hosting this event to observe and honor those who endured sacrifice and have lost loved ones in military service. This event will include speeches from military leaders and guests and patriotic displays. We just want to honor those who have in any way lost family members and loved ones in military service. This event will take place at the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. You can Google that. It should be, I believe it's like in the Punch Bowl crater down south. Also, if you have questions, feel free to ask me. Last point, training brief on JPMRC, which stands for Joint Pacific Multinational Readiness Center, JPMRC. The 25th Infantry Division will execute the annual training exercise, and it will take place between the 7th and the 16th of November. Please be aware there will be an increase in traffic and noise in weeks prior to and after the exercise. Residents may also experience increased military aircraft overflight, low-flying helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft flown in and out of Wheeler Army Airfield will be regular. The majority of military training locations are on the northern portion of Oahu and some in the central part of Oahu. However, residents will still see troops traveling to and from the training areas. For any concerns, please call the community concern line at 808-787-1528 or email usag.hawaii.comrel@army.mil if you have any questions or concerns. Is there any questions specifically for me?
Thank you, Sergeant. That was a wonderfully explanatory report full of many issues.
Try to chug through it.
And events.
Yeah.
Members of the board, are there any questions for the United States Army at this time? Please raise your hand. All right, members of the public, any questions for U.S. Army Garrison? Please raise your hand. Okay. Seeing none. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Okay, next up, we have Board of Water Supply. Welcome, Kathleen.
Chair and board members, thank you. I have one main break to report. Happened on August 26th. It was an 8-inch pipe at 95117 Waikalani Drive. This month, we are asking people to really look at water conservation and really, consider trying to save not 10%, but 20% of your water. As we've noticed, we have had abnormally low rainfall this year, 18% of normal in the month of August. And the lowest month we've had in our rolling 5-year average was last December, which is normally a wet month, 17% of normal. So rainfall is definitely low right now. They are predicting a wetter winter. We're praying that that comes to pass because it didn't this past year. So we're out there asking people to save 20%, which again is turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. Put a bucket under the spout when you're waiting for your shower to warm up, from the water. Use that water to water your plants or flush your toilet. Little things like that will really help make a difference. We just, and I know this, we all love our green lawns. I have weeds. But this is Hawaii. One good rain and it gets green again. So I'm asking people, please don't water their lawns, just let nature be nature. It will get green again. But that's really one of the biggest uses of water, especially outdoor uses. So one other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, about a month or so ago, we thought we were going to be hooking up our Melamanu 808 reservoir to a water system improvement project we're doing along Waikalani. That didn't happen for several reasons that they didn't explain it to me, and that's fine. I'm sure it was all very technical. But we are now getting ready to do it again. It's going to be this October 1st between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. And we have started with social media posts. Chair, I'll make sure to send that to Catherine so she can post it through your channels. And then we will also go out to the addresses listed in the social media post and alert the residents a couple of days before as well. So we just want to make sure people are aware of that. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. And members of the board, are there any questions? Please raise your hand. Dennis, go ahead.
About several months ago, the Board of Water Supply offered a water catchment system from the gutters. I applied for it in 30, but I never heard anything back, or nobody delivered any of those catchment things.
Oh, did you apply for the rebate or?
I just applied the form that they had, sent it in.
Okay, Dennis, can I get your number and call, let me call you and get more information.
Okay, 808. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I'll see you
Yeah.
afterwards.
Okay. I say I don't care. I always give up my phone number.
Going on YouTube, people. Are there any other questions for Board of Water? Emil, go ahead.
Yeah, just quick question. Is there any update about the Red Hill? What's going on?
I can't talk to the lawsuit. It is still ongoing and we hope we'll have something soon. Other than that, we still are participating in meetings. The Fuel Tank Advisory Committee is coming up on October 1st. Mr. Law will be there. So we still are active in it, and we hope our lawsuit will get resolved sooner rather than later. So thank you. Thank you for the question.
Any additional questions from board members for the Board of Water Supply? Please raise your hand. Anne, go ahead.
Yeah, it's me. Aloha, everybody. My name is Ann Freed, and I'm glad to be here. And I'm a member of your neighborhood board in the Waikalani area. So, Kathleen, I don't want to blindside you. First, I want to thank you for all of the work that you do for our community and for what you do for the Board of Water Supply. Waikalani, we have an issue. I don't know if you know about this, but we probably need to talk offline. During some operation by the Board of Water Supply, they blew out our pressure regulators. And there's money costs involved. So I don't know that they know how to proceed. I don't know. We know how to proceed. So if we could talk offline about that you give me a call. Do that. Thanks.
Will do. Thanks, Ann.
Okay, are there any members of the public who have any questions for the Board of Water Supply? Please raise your hand. Any final questions? Right. Seeing and hearing none. Thank you so much, Kathleen. Okay, next up, we have Sherry from State of Hawaii School Facilities Authority. Come on down.
Aloha Chair Bass and board members, and thank you again for your continued support of the Mililani High School Workforce Housing Initiative. In follow-up to my update last month, the environmental assessment is currently underway. Traffic, biological, and archaeological and cultural studies have started to understand existing conditions. The EA will identify potential impacts and needed mitigation. Rachel. Next slide, please. Okay. All right. So this month's presentation includes a preliminary site plan, which may change as EA studies and design work progress. The initial design was adapted after the DOE and Principal Murphy provided information on the Airnasium project. So if you can look at the site, if you can see the site map to my right, there is an area around the tennis courts that's going to be the Airnasium. And then to the left of that, that's good, you zoomed in, yes, will be the, this is the current site plan again. Oh, did I do that? No, what happened? Sorry, Rachel. Go back, okay. I'm gonna put this down. And if you could zoom in, I don't know if you can zoom in again. So yes, so the site plan is to the left and the Airnasium will be to my right. The teacher workforce housing project will include up to 100 units, a resident manager's unit, parking at least as required by code, an entry exit at the Mehe'ula Parkway separate from the school roadways, secured building with perimeter fence to separate the housing project from the school, on-site laundry and common rooms for teachers to interact, and on-site management. SFA and DOE are working together on a solution for the replacement parking. A potential parking area has been identified and will be coordinated with plans for the Airnasium. As shared previously, there will be an opportunity for the public to review the draft EA and provide comments. Pacific Housing anticipates publication of the draft in the first quarter of 2026. We remain committed to keeping the community informed as the Mililani project progresses. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at SFA or visit our website for updates. And you can go to the next slide, which has my information. And yes, here we go. I'm happy to take any questions.
All right, thank you, Sherry. Members of the board, are there any questions for the SFA? Please raise your hand. Dennis, followed by Catherine, followed by Emil.
And you can go back, if you go back to the, you can take the
map.
presentation down because I think there are members.
How far is that entrance to Mehe'ula Parkway from the entrance to the post office?
I am not sure exactly how far, but we have some representatives from the Pacific Housing Online.
Is there a representative from PHAC to answer that?
Yes. Hi, Chair. I'm Lacey Shimabukuro with Pacific Housing.
Thank you.
Hi. I don't know the distance. However, that driveway is right near the church, and I believe it's Ananiu Street. I may have pronounced it Ananui or Ananiu.
Anania.
Ananias.
Yeah. Okay. Neither of the two.
Mehe'ula Parkway, I think. The concern I have is people coming onto Mehe'ula Parkway, or if they turn right and go down.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So I think the entrance, I think, would be, maybe you should consider doing a turn lane or something, one more thing, so cars that turn into the parking lot, but not get mistaken for the cars that want to turn into the post office. Because it sounds to me like it's pretty close to each other.
Your
I
concern is the driveway and the post office driveway are close together.
Yeah, that's the concern I have because there are cars that come real fast down Mehula Parkway and turn right off into the post office. But with a new driveway down the line, you may find the same kind of people getting mistaken or wrong turns or whatever. I think there's a concern there. Okay, thank you.
okay, thank you.
Noted,
Catherine.
thank you.
Catherine, you have a question?
About the 100 units, is it several buildings or how many stories high is it?
We have site, it's going to be a connected two sections. I can show you right here.
Sorry, please make sure that this conversation is on
How
microphone.
many stories high is it?
It
gonna
is
have- I'm gonna-
currently planned at 5 stories.
Currently planned at 5 stories.
Okay, Emil, you have a question?
Just a quick question. Just in response to the letter we got from the PBR Hawaii and Associates, which was talking about the goal of this project, which is to offer new multifamily rental unit options in a variety of sizes. Preference is studio, 1 and 2 bedrooms. I'm just wondering, are we gonna do any outreach on the mainland, or who are the teachers who will be interested to live in, let's say, studio or 1-bedroom apartments and rent it here?
So the question is, how are we going to find that, what kind of outreach will be done for looking for tenants for the housing facility?
Yeah.
I'm going to pass it over to Pacific Housing. They will be, my understanding is they will be utilizing a property manager, but we haven't decided all of the details behind that, but maybe Lacey can answer more directly than I can.
Sure. The intent is to have licensed public school teachers and education staff as tenants. And SFA has contracted and got results of a teacher survey, which talked about that Sherry talked about last meeting, and asked where and if teachers would be interested in living there. And there was a strong response to having this placed in Mililani, and so we do feel that there will be sufficient interest. As Sherry said, we will have a property manager who will be marketing and doing the lease up, and if required, there will be a lottery system. And also, initially, Pacific Housing had done a focus group on new teachers, so they were between 2 and 5 years of working, and their responses helped guide us in the types of units that they would be interested. So studios, 1s and 2s.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other board members who have any questions? Sabrina? No? Nothing online. Okay, I'm going to open it up to the public. Are there any members of the public who have any questions regarding the SFA's presentation at this time? Please raise your hand. Okay. Seeing and hearing none, I will just remind everyone for the purpose of this meeting that in terms of the pre-assessment consultation environmental assessment letter that we received as a board, I put that under my chair's report later on in the agenda. So I'll announce that letter. It was distributed to all of you. We will be providing a response to their consultant, PBR Hawaii, related to what we've heard as general concerns. But members, at that point of the agenda, if you have additional questions and you wanted to raise some of these concerns, we can actually add that in to our letter back to PBR, and as well as all the concerns that came up previously. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Sherry.
If I may just add, this is something that Chair Bass brought up because it might be announced or talked about later on in this meeting. The governor's update.
Yes, about
Is this Tony?
yes, this is Tony.
May I ask if Tony will you be talking about the UH graduate housing project? So I just wanted to let the members know that University of Hawaii just completed a graduate housing project, which includes a pre-K facility on the ground floor. That project was also a public-private partnership, which is what we are doing at Mililani, and it just completed. And it has the same kind of sort of restrictions on tenancy. Of course, there's a priority waterfall, they call it, where they're going to prioritize graduate students and faculty and on and on and on, as we would prioritize DOE teachers and staff, and goes down the priority list. So I wanted to point that out, that it is a completed, finished, and successful project that Tony will talk about today. Oh, and SFA is particularly proud of that project too, because we as an agency invested funds to allow the facility of the preschool to be, the classrooms to be built out there. There's 8 new classrooms, and it's a beautiful facility, and it really makes sense in that housing, in that the graduate students, if they have children, can send their little ones to the pre-K, as well as graduate students who are becoming pre-K teachers can also intern there. So we really feel that that was a great partnership, and we're hoping that our partnership with Pacific Housing and Mililani High School and the DOE and the teachers of our state will benefit from this project as well. So thank you.
Looking forward to that. Okay, thank you so much, Sherry. It is 7:30. I will note that HFD just walked in, as well as HPD is right behind them. So thank you for coming. We have changed our meeting schedule, so we now meet at 7 p.m. So no worries. We know that there's an adjustment. Our own members come in late. So come on down.
Good evening, everyone, members of the board, general public. I am Alexander Relova. I'm with Station 36, Mililani Town. And today I'll be listing off some statistics of the past month of August, just to inform everyone in the community of like what exactly kind of calls we've been going to. So in the previous month, the amount of fires, we had 1 structure fire, 14 wildland brush fires, approximately the Kunia area. Nuisance fires, we had 2, which is what we refer to rubbish fires outside of buildings and homes. 0 cooking fires during the whole month, and approximately 6 activated alarms in either businesses or residences. In terms of the amount of other emergencies we've been to, we've had approximately 73 medical emergencies during the month, 0 motor vehicle collisions with pedestrians previous month, 3 motor vehicle crash collisions with other cars, 0 mountain rescues, 0 ocean rescues, and approximately 3 hazardous materials incidents. In regards to fire safety tips and announcements from the Honolulu Fire Department, we'll be addressing the importance of charging into fire safety lithium-ion batteries in your home. This year, the National Fire Protection Association's Fire Prevention Week campaign works to educate everyone about using these batteries safely. Lithium-ion batteries store a lot of energy in a small place. These batteries can overheat, start a fire, or explode if overcharged or damaged. By learning how to buy, charge, and recycle these batteries safely, you can help prevent a fire in your home. Other tips include to buy only listed products. When buying a product that uses lithium-ion battery, look for a safety certification mark such as UL, ETL, or CSA. This means it meets important safety standards. Charge your devices safely. Always use the cord that came with the product to charge. Follow the instructions from the manufacturer. Buy new chargers from the manufacturer or one that the manufacturer has approved. Charge your device on a hard surface. Don't overcharge your device. Unplug it or remove the battery when it's fully charged. Additionally, recycle batteries responsibly. Don't throw lithium-ion batteries in the trash or regular recycling bins because they could start a fire. Recycle your device or battery at a safe battery recycling location. Visit call2recycle with the number 2.org to find a recycling spot near you. The HFD is also going to be hosting a Fire Prevention Family Day event on October 4th at the Honolulu Zoo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Please bring the family and friends to participate in activities and meet our fire and life safety partners. And now my captain, Sean Ray, will be here to field any questions you might have.
Mahalo nui for the thorough report. Thank you for being here tonight. Members of the board, are there any questions for Captain Ray and HFD? Catherine.
He was talking about not to put the batteries in the trash. What about the AA batteries? Is it okay?
That's fine.
Thank you.
The main issue with the lithium ion ones, they might cause some heat and some fire issues.
Please speak into the microphone.
Yeah, just heat with the lithium ion batteries, just make sure that they are disposed of properly. I guess you can call the convenience center and get advice from them. Yeah, but the AA batteries, those are fine.
Members of the board, are there any additional questions for HFD? Okay, are there any members of the public who would like to ask questions to HFD at this time? Please raise your hand. All right. Seeing and hearing none, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, next up, HPD.
Good evening, Lieutenant Romel Baisa from the Honolulu Police Department, Wahiawa Station. I brought Sergeant John Yoshioka. He's normally in charge of the Mililani area, so he's here with me today if you guys have any questions for him. I pulled up statistics from the previous 30 days from the 23rd of August to the 23rd of September for your area. We had one aggravated assault case. That's usually ones that involve substantial bodily injuries or weapons. 4 burglary cases, that's break-ins to the houses. 0 robbery, which is always good. 3 car break-ins, and we had 897 calls for service for the previous 30 days. Safety tip for this month is traffic awareness while using mobile devices. Please know that it is illegal to use your mobile device as your cell phone or pager, if anybody has that, any type of mobile device while you're driving and also while you're crossing the street. So know that, please. It is illegal. That's all I have.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Members of the board, are there any questions for HPD at this time? Yes, Marilyn, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I asked this question last week and the problem has continued, and that is the parking in corners, particularly around the high school on Sunday mornings, Ikaloa and Kipapa Drive. This Sunday, there were trucks on both sides of Ikaloa Street where we turn to Kipapa Drive. And I mean, it's difficult to turn there, but also very dangerous. And this has happened week after week. Sunday seems to be, I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe you guys know what's going on there on Sunday morning. You don't know? Okay. But I would really hope that we could get a bit more
Enforcement.
enforcement.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess that's what to say. Yeah.
Sure, and this is generally about morning time on Sundays.
Yes, it's
Okay.
through the morning. It starts early, I would say. Well, probably about 9 o'clock, and then
Sure.
it goes through the afternoon.
May I ask if you've called 911 for those?
Yes, I have, and
Alright.
I've
Good.
called 911 each time,
Okay,
but it
good.
doesn't seem to help. And I did mention last time, not this week, but the week before, there was a police car parked in the corner. So,
And the police car was citing people?
no, it was just parked there, probably going to whatever was happening at the
Oh,
school.
okay, all right. Well, you said it yourself, right? They might be responding to the call. I will notify the daytime officer, the daytime watch commanders, and see what's going
Yeah,
on.
I mean,
Sunday
it really, it sets up a dangerous situation.
Definitely, right.
For the neighbors. And, you know, really, the drivers are risking damage to their own cars and to other cars
Sure.
by doing that. You know, on Kipapa Drive, right next to Ikaloa is a very narrow thoroughfare.
Okay, good.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
So you're like 4 out of this 897 calls? I'm joking. Thank you for
Yeah.
calling, though. I appreciate
Yeah, well, you know, that's the only thing that we have, that we are allowed to do, you know, or that we can do
Sure.
as citizens. And so it's getting to be a habit though, every week.
Okay. I
Thank
will
you
let
so
them know.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Are there any other board members? Catherine?
This early evening at 5:40 PM,
Mhm.
I was heading Mauka on Mehi'ula Parkway, and 3 cars must have run the red light because we had a go. We had a green light. And it's a common occurrence.
Okay.
And another question I have is, can something be done about, I don't know if it's the automobile industry, that the battery, the headlights of their cars are blinding. And I heard from my chiropractor's daughter, who's a teenager, said they should be banned. Thank you.
Yeah, I think a lot of the stock for sure are legal, but there's a lot of people that replace the bulbs and the lenses for their cars. That one, unless we see it or unless we have to observe it for us to be able to cite them. And even that, it depends, right, on how bright and how do we gauge it. We don't have the machine that they use at during the safety checks. So can't really help much. But of course, if we see it and it's too blinding, then we'll try to. I'll let the officers know, see what they can do. Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other board members who have questions? Emil?
Just quick question. You mentioned that crossing the street, talking on a cell phone is illegal.
Correct.
So what is the fine?
The fine is what is it? Is it court?
But when you talk about pedestrians, has to be mindful. Not only for motor vehicles.
We can't hear. him.
Oh, yes, please step up to the microphone.
So this law, new law came out, addresses the pedestrian when using the cell phone. It's not only motor vehicles only now, because if you just crossing the crosswalk, not paying attention to vehicles, yeah, you may be cited for that.
So even if the traffic lights are in your favor, like you can cross, yeah? So you are not crossing on a red light, but you're crossing, so you cannot talk on the side.
Yeah, because we want you to be aware of your surroundings. You want to be,
Okay.
so you can see the oncoming traffic, then you just stop.
So
or
the
you-
fine is, I mean, what is the range? I mean, like, if you talk in a car, it's like $300, yeah? Or if it's within the school
You know,
district,
I'll be
it's
honest with you.
$350.
The HRS, the Hawaii Revised Statute says that the fine is for the initial offense is $15, second offense $75, third offense is, I'm not sure. But as far as the officer citing you, I'm not sure what it says on there because sometimes it says whatever the fine is, $97, but yet when you go to court, the judge will say, you know what, the actual fine on the HRS is what will follow. Does that make sense? And then also there's some citations that we issue and all it says is court. In other words, go to court and you have to show up to court for this. There's no just paying the fine, mailing in the fine. So you have to show up to court. You got to get scoldings by the judge, I guess. And then you'll pay the $15 minimum fine, right?
In the microphone, please.
That's that fine you're talking about, it's constantly changing, you know, because when I was a beatman, it was $100-something. They came to like you said, $295. Then they changed it to total court date. Now, I don't think they change it back to fines no more. So before, yeah, they strictly court. You got to go court for that. Talking on cell phone and all.
I see Dennis has a question. Go ahead.
Yes, the question was about crossing the street for pedestrians. If they're looking at their cell phone, they're not paying attention, right? Distracted. What about earphones and earbuds so you cannot hear anything? Is there, I don't know what the law says about that.
That's not covered in the law. I know that when you're using your earphones or earbuds, you're still able to look forward, look straight ahead and still kind of pay attention to traffic. But when you're constantly looking at your cell phone, looking down, you cannot see what's around you. Your peripheral vision is obstructed or gone pretty much, right? While you're looking at your cell phone. I think that's what the law was intended for.
Are there any additional members of the board who have questions for HPD? All right, are there any members of the public with questions for HPD? Please raise your hand. I actually just have a suggestion following off of Marilyn's question on enforcement. I did not call 911, but having heard that concern, you know, generally during the weekends around parks, many park users will park alongside the park and some might crowd that corner on turns, you know, across Mililani. So it might be a good idea to just drive around the parks on Saturdays and Sundays. You know, Hokuahiahi near Waihilani Avenue, the baseball park is
Very familiar.
And so, you know, I mean, no one likes a parking ticket, right? But maybe we need gentle reminders to make sure that, you know, our Mililani community is mindful of each other, especially for parking and, you know, pedestrians walking. That we could expand on that enforcement Mililani-wide nearby all the parks during the weekends.
I'll make the suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. So 7 now, right?
7 now. Yes, we'll see you at 7.
So we
next
weren't
month.
late. You guys were early. Thank you.
Okay, it's 7:46, so we're going to go into community concerns. At this time, is there a community member who would like to come forward to express or comment or concern within decorum on any item that is not agendized on tonight's agenda? Please limit your comments to 3 minutes each per issue that are for items not on the agenda. Step on up. Going once, going twice, gone. Okay. Now we got presentations. We have students from ASMHS and representatives from Mililani High School here to discuss the Mililani High School Homecoming Parade that's occurring next month. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Danielle Castro. I'm one of the student activities coordinators here at Mililani High School, along with Chayton Cabral, our student body president, Leilani Ward-Reilly, other student activities coordinator, and Madison Green, our corresponding secretary. And we're just here to invite you guys and inform you that the annual homecoming parade will be taking place on October 18th at 9 a.m. We do have additional handouts here in case you didn't get one, but it's going to be the per usual, where we invite our community schools, our complex area schools, our marching band, our JROTC. We present our homecoming court. We will start at the upper parking lot and then travel down Mehe'ula and then make our way in front of Waena and then down Kipapa Drive, ending at our stadium. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Is there anything? Yeah. So we just wanted to share that information with you guys.
Okay, so friendly reminder to members, we don't need a vote on this matter. They're informing us per DTS, I guess, regulations.
Yeah.
So if there's any questions relating to the parade, ask them now. Please raise your hands. Okay. And any members of the public who have any questions related to the parade, please raise your hand. Seeing none.
Thank you.
Have fun next month. Okay, I received a communique next in our presentation. I did extend an invitation to Hawaii, State of Hawaii DOT, Department of Transportation Director Ed Sniffen. He did agree to make a presentation related to that news of a noise camera in the Mililani area. It will be located at Mehula Parkway and Lani Kuhana Avenue. However, I received a last minute contact from their office saying that he was unavailable to come tonight, and it was he sent his regrets. So something has come up, and they have provided a white paper which I can read for you all. Rachel, could you put it on the screen? I believe so, from Veronica. And at this time, is there any representative from DOT who's not the director who would like to step in? Guess not. Okay. So, in terms of, actually, would you like, I could try to share. See if I can. Sorry, folks, bear with me. Okay, here we go. And share. Got it. We good? Yep. Great. Okay, so now I have a lot of clutter. Okay, so there was some news announced about, gosh, a couple weeks ago that the State of Hawaii Department of Transportation announced through media circles that they will be performing a pilot program at 10 locations across the island of Oahu for something called a noise camera. And one of those noise cameras is intended, according to the map that was circulated by the news media, is for Mililani. So I reached out to some of our elected officials. They didn't, Senator Kidani, their office knew about it. And so I did reach out to Director Sniffen, and they've provided this document, and the director was going to share the following. In terms of sidewalks, the original legislative request included a traffic signal. Oh, sorry, this is for our Mililani sidewalk project that we got for CIP. The original legislative request included a traffic signal, highway lighting, and sidewalk improvements between Mehula Parkway and Lani Kuhana Avenue. Due to budget concerns, the project is phased, prioritizing a traffic signal and highway lighting first. Phase 1 at Mehula Parkway was issued a notice to proceed in October 2024, but the physical work has been delayed by DTS hardware comments, and other non-DTS site work is ongoing. Sidewalk design is expected to be finalized by 2026. Okay, it seems like this is some facts that DOT is sharing, and maybe we will get to the noise cameras, but I am being fully transparent and reading this to all of you. Okay, in terms of red light running, Catherine, at intersections with red light safety cameras, crashes involving disregard of traffic control devices have dropped by 69%. Beginning in 2026, Hawaii DOT will add 8 to 10 new cameras annually, red light plus speed. Site selection based on crash history, focusing on areas with 9+ crashes from signal violations. Vendor contracts from DOT for expansion are being finalized. An announcement will follow on when speed citations will begin. Learn more, ask questions at the link available before you, and this will be distributed also in our Google Drive. For speed tables will be installed before crosswalks instead of raised crosswalks due to ramp super elevations and HDA considerations. Improvements include lighting upgrades, RRFB installation at H2 southbound on-ramp, H2 northbound off-ramp, scheduled to be confirmed construction in October with completion by the end of the month. Message boards posted prior to the construction start and public notice by HDOT weekly lane closure email will include project updates. Let me see if there's any additional from them. I believe it was 2. Pardon for the delay. All right, and noise cameras. Let me see if I can share this again. Okay, can you see the noise cameras? I guess I pulled up the wrong file. They gave us 2 files. So for the noise cameras, that will be proposed, the one noise camera proposed for Mililani. What is a noise camera? Automated microphones and cameras detect loud vehicles exceeding set thresholds. Focuses on modified exhaust or excessive engine revving. Records a 14-second clip of video, audio, and license plate. Non-events auto-delete automatically. Why is Hawaii Department of Transportation installing noise cameras? Required by Act 63, Session Laws of Hawaii 2023, a pilot program was made to address excessive traffic noise. Findings and recommendations are due to the legislature before the 2025 session. That might be a typo. Why Mililani? Selected based on HPD complaint data and community requests. Pilot evaluates traffic noise impacts across Oahu, how the 2-year pilot works. 10 cameras will be installed on Oahu and may be relocated. Monthly contractor reports will be given to the Hawaii DOT final report with recommendations. There will be no fines or citations. This is for data collection only. They will be recording 90 decibels. So how loud is 90 decibels? Comparable to everyday sounds. A power lawnmower, a hair dryer, and a blender. So that's what we can determine as a 90 decibel sound. In terms of frequently asked questions, what if someone yells under the camera? It will be reviewed, and if not vehicle related, it will be logged by the DOT as a false positive. Also, why this location? This location was selected based on HPD complaint data, resident input, and technical criteria. Current status. 2 cameras are operational, one at H3 near Kamehameha Highway off-ramp, and the second at Ala Moana Boulevard near Kalia Road. 8 more cameras must be installed by January with the assistance of City and County of Honolulu. That is their response that they were going to provide in this presentation related to noise cameras and other frequently asked questions on Mililani state transportation projects. Unfortunately, since I'm not the DOT, I'm not available to answer any questions and just relaying that. But members, is there some small questions that hopefully I can try to answer based off of what I learned from DOT? Emil.
What about the loud music?
Yes, so it seems like they might, if the loud music hits 90 decibels, then it'll be recorded. That's the threshold, is my understanding. Are there any other questions? Again, I'm not an employee of the Department of Transportation, but I'm happy to help. Yes, Marilyn.
I missed where on Meheula?
Yes, this will be located at Meheula Parkway and Lani Kuhana Avenue near the Lutheran Church.
Oh, good. Well, that's good because I can tell you that the noise that comes into the church on Sunday mornings, in particular the days that I'm reading the liturgy, is greater than 90 decibels.
So from what I saw on media sites is there are 2 proposed locations for DOT's noise camera on that intersection. And I don't know if they've made a decision of the location. So they have 2 proposed locations for that one intersection. One noise camera will be on Meheula Parkway near Ho'okeleva'a Street. So coming from Mauka, going westward, so going Safeway bound, facing the traffic coming into Mililani. A second proposed location would be at the corner of Meheula and Lani Kuhana near the Lutheran Church, facing Lani Kuhana or even facing Malka bound traffic on Meheula. So those are the proposed sites that were circulating in maps from the DOT that are available at their website online. And I believe that they and the city and county of Honolulu will decide where best to locate those. Any other questions? Anne.
So I'll put this in the form of a question because I understand we're not allowed to offer information to this board. So are people aware that 90 decibels is the same level of a vacuum cleaner? So anything above the level of a vacuum cleaner is beyond 90 decibels. And this is a problem I've been pursuing for well over 20 years. I've called HPD numerous times and they would always tell me that they don't want to carry a noise monitor because they're not experts in handling a noise monitor. So I would like to say that are people happy with this? I want to tell you that I am quite happy with it.
While DOT didn't share a vacuum cleaner, they did share power lawnmower, hair dryer, and blender as relatable references to 90 decibels. Okay. Other questions? I see Josie had her hand up.
Okay, so this is a $2.5 million project for 2 years, and it's just to do a study, correct? Did they say I'm sorry, they're going to use just that location or they're going to keep moving it around? And is there like an email or somebody that we can contact, I guess, regarding this? Thank you.
Good questions.
Well, because I actually know what the laws are and what can be done or what, what they've been able to handle a lot of it, but the problem is the town center, it's private property. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Josie. From their one pager that I read, it says, hopefully this answers a part of your question. It says, for the 2-year pilot, 10 cameras will be installed on Oahu, and in parentheses, it may be relocated. So that's all I can answer to you. It seems like it's a flexible location, according to DOT. And I can't answer the rest of the questions. They did provide an email or a website. We will share. I believe that Rachel received the same email as me from DOT, so she will forward that on. There wasn't an email address of a point of contact, but there was a website on this white paper that I shared with you folks.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Well, it's a bummer. I really wanted to see DOT, but things come up. Okay. Next up, we're going to go into the approval of meeting minutes. I'm going to recognize our secretary, Sabrina.
The minutes were sent out with the agenda. I received no comments regarding corrections. Therefore, there's no corrections from the floor. I move to approve them.
I'll second your motion.
Okay. Does anybody have any amendments that they want to bring up? Okay, I don't think I see any. So we'll pass the minutes as written. Thank you.
Great. Okay, next up, we're gonna go into board report of chairs and board committees. Okay, folks, it is 8:03. We're making good time here. My report, I wrote it down here because there's been so much going on, I didn't want to forget. First off, I want to thank the members of the board in supporting me and providing assistance and feedback for the letter to the Federal Aviation Administration regarding Blue Hawaiian Helicopter's minimum flight altitude request over Central Oahu. This is something that also was circulating on social media and news media. And I learned of it on a Saturday, and the deadline for comments to the FAA was Monday. So we were not, as a board, provided notice by Blue Hawaiian Helicopters. No one informed this. This is just seriously just dumb luck on the internet, okay? I was startled by this because it's adjacent to and around our community. And Blue Hawaiian Helicopters filed an application in May to FAA to reduce their minimum flight altitude from 1,500 feet above ground. That's about half of a reduction of their flight altitude. And as a general impulse, I called our elected officials. I did reach out to Nestor Garcia for Congressman Case's office, since this matter is before the Federal Aviation Administration and is a matter of, I would assume that our congressional member would have known about it. The response was that yes, the entity did meet with our member of Congress representing us. However, Mililani, Central Oahu, or his congressional district was not included in that meeting. Our member of Congress was led to believe that this application was related to Kauai and Maui only. So this was news. I shared the application with Nestor. It would shock Nestor as well. And they also scrambled, contacted their constituents. I contacted our state senator or State Senator Michelle Kidani, since this is the majority of her Senate district. She also was not aware or informed by Blue Hawaiian or their representatives of this request to lower minimum flight altitude. With that information, I did email. Unfortunately, Rachel was, of course, it was a weekend, so she's not working. And I frantically, quickly emailed all of you, or the majority of you, since I don't have all the email addresses, since we do try to oblige by sunshine law. And I normally go through NCO protocols to provide emails to you through Rachel. Unfortunately, due to that 2-day turnaround, I did want to submit comments by that Monday deadline, because at the time when I looked at it, there were only 9 comments submitted on Saturday morning to the FAA, which concerned me, given the fact that in the decades on this board, we have heard so many Mililani community member concerns related to aviation noise, low aviation, and that's not just related to military air traffic, but just general aviation air traffic. I further had some questions related to the fact that in the helicopter tour company's application to the FAA, they named our Central Oahu community as, quote, generally unpopulated, which I contacted the Mililani Town Association, our homeowners association, and they informed me that Mililani as a whole is 55,000 people. So it's not unpopulated. To include all the way to Kunia, that would be 85,000 people in the Central Oahu map that Blue Hawaiian Helicopters wanted to reduce their minimum flight altitude. Let's see, am I missing anything? Try and go by the memory on this one. So I did provide this letter representing our community. I do want to thank all of you for your feedback, for your support, for your assistance, and even suggestions for changes and amendments. We were able to send that letter to the FAA, and I'm pleased to see that after by that FAA deadline on Monday at, I believe, 5:59 p.m., there were 56,000 comments submitted to the FAA statewide. So it went from 9 on Saturday to 56,000. So very happy that our own state senator submitted testimony in opposition, as well as, from what I learned, Congressman Case's office also submitted comments in opposition. By the way, I was contacted by a member of the governor's office who is a resident of Mililani on Monday, the day of the deadline, and that staff person informed me that the governor's office was also not aware of Blue Hawaiian Helicopter's request to lower flight altitude levels by half to 700 feet above ground for the Mililani area or central Oahu. They were not informed on that. That completes my Blue Hawaiian report. Are there any questions related to this letter I sent to the FAA with our board letterhead? Questions? Okay, hearing none, thank you. Next, in terms of the pre-assessment consultation environmental assessment letter we received from PBR Hawaii, they have provided us an October 5th deadline. So members, what I'd like from you, we will submit a letter back to PBR explaining the meetings that Sherry has been hosting, as well as us, as well as the SCC, the general concerns that have come up through those 12 plus community meetings in the Mililani area, as well as I wrote down some of the concerns that came up tonight while you were voicing your questions to Sherry. What I'm asking of you is either now or when you think about this project in our community, this is going to be an ongoing relationship we have with SFA, with PHAC. And so this is the beginning of the environmental assessment. We're not going to throw, we're not going to have all the information, but what we can do is we can pose questions and they can provide us with the draft EA by spring of 2026, as they shared in Sherry's report. So what I'm asking of you is please email me your questions or comments by 1 week from now, October 1st. And I will gladly include that on behalf of our board in a letter to PBR Hawaii. And I would like to extend that opportunity to any Mililani resident who is here today and online, or has those questions and want those questions represented as well. So please contact me by October 1st, and I can include that in our feedback. Are there any questions in relation to this part of my report? Anne, you're muted.
Yeah, I just had, sorry. Yeah, so I just have a question first. If you have any updates on what's going on with the zip line situation?
I'll take that after this. Thank you. Any questions related to the EA pre-assessment letter? Okay, none. Related to, to address Anne's question on the gondolas and zip lines. I'm sad to see that Kathleen left. Okay, what I heard and I learned from Kathleen is that the developer has since rescinded his request for a conditional use permit modification with the DPP. So after the joint board meeting that we all held as 4 boards, as well as multiple boards, I don't know the total number, but I know that we passed our reso, North Shore passed their reso, Wahiawa recently passed their reso, Mililani-Mauka did as well. I believe that there were 2 more boards that made, so maybe a little 6 6 neighborhood boards or more sent letters and or passed resolutions in support of Mount Kaala, expressing concerns and criticizing the gondola zip line project. So all I know, Anne, is that there are about 6 or more boards that submitted those resolutions, and the developer has pulled their conditional use permit modification. But perhaps a representative from City Council Member Wire's office, if they're here tonight, they can add to that in their report if they know any more. Any other questions? All right, thank you. That completes my report. Kate is not online. Josie, is there, would you like to share your report for Community Recognition Service Awards?
Have no report. Nobody is con. Thank you.
Okay, no report. Ken and Skylar for community maintenance and walk audit.
I need to follow up on a community member approached me when I was at Town Center a couple of days ago. I need to follow up on some, I guess you'd call them roots that are beginning to protrude through the pavement that he complained about. So I need to take a look at that.
Okay, next month. Sounds good. Planning and zoning, sustainable development, climate resilience, Trevor.
No report for this month.
Transportation, OMPO, Ed.
Okay. Okay, I attended, of little that I know, the Oahu Metropolitan Planning Organization meeting remotely on September 3rd. And I'm reading up on them, but one of the presentations were made was a week without driving. And this is a challenge to residents of Oahu to not drive your own vehicle. They're soliciting elected officials, the public, government officials to not drive for 1 week. And this originated from the mainland, actually. And this will take place scheduled between September 29th to October 5th. And I guess the challenge is for residents to travel throughout the island without a car to experience transportation system from the perspective of non-drivers. And you can register for this at oahumpo.org, and they will be issuing beacon cards and I believe holo cards as incentives. And if you look to the website, you will see some of the activities that are happening. Also, that in the presentation at the MPO meeting was a presentation by the Navahini settlement. Pretty extensive, but the key points, this was a lawsuit that 13 young Hawaiians filed a lawsuit against the state and was settled in 2024. They presented a PowerPoint, and just real quickly, some provisions of the settlement was achieving net negative emissions, creating greenhouse gas reduction plan, reforming and budgeting process, establishing a youth council, and expanding clean infrastructure. And their plan is to reduce emissions by all the way up to 2050. So you want to know more about the Navahini settlement, you can go to the OMPO website also. Okay, that's all.
Thank you, Ed. Members, are there any questions for Ed? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, we're going to move on to military affairs and emergency management. Dennis.
Yes, as some of you know, we were trying to plan a visit to the Wheaterview helicopter hangar and that area. The brigade is in favor of that. However, there's activities coming up, the international exercises and all that. So they're hoping to go ahead and bring this as soon as all the preparations for it and the event is over. So this will probably be delayed probably another 2 months or so. But everybody who knows about it are in favor of having our board and other people go in and visit the hangar and the facilities where the helicopters are. And right now, that's it. But they did say, and I talked to Rachel about this, they'll give us about a 3-week notice that we can send it out, information out to everybody to determine the number of people that want to attend it. Amen.
Thank you, Dennis. Members, are there any questions for Dennis and his report? Seeing none. Darsha for Health, Houselessness, and Human Services.
Good evening, Chair. Yes, one concern came through about the area around Rec Center 3. So I did relay that information to Tanya with Kalaho West Oahu, and they should be following up. I guess there was concerns with some vandalism, encampment, and then also there was also a police report filed in the area. So Kalaho West Oahu should be following up.
Mahalo. Members, are there any questions for Darsha? Okay. Thank you, Darsha. Sabrina, Parks and Recreation.
Right now, I'm in the data gathering phase of the dog park issue. So I've made a survey. I've dropped it in the chat with Rachel. And if you could just publicize that to everybody to complete, it's just a basic trying to get a perspective on different people's opinions. So if you have anybody that has a dog, please ask them to complete it so we can get more input before we move forward on this topic. That's it.
Members, are there any questions for Sabrina? Okay. And finally, Marilyn for Education.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to announce that both you and I attended the recent Mililani Complex PC Day, which was a day of collaboration between all the schools in Mililani. And one of the very interesting things about the event was that each Mililani principal got up and gave a short speech about their love for Mililani, and they revealed whether or not they were born and raised in the community. Not all of them were, and some of them were a little embarrassed not to have been born and raised, but I assured the ones I know that it was fine, it was okay. Anyhow, it was a wonderful day, and I understand that the chair also gave a talk on agriculture sustainability, and so she's to be commended for that. And secondly, I got a nice report from Kipapa School, and they have completed their first big fundraiser of the year, which was quite successful. And they will be having their Kipapa Makahiki, was formerly called the Fall Fair, and it'll be held on November 7th from 4 to 8 p.m. There'll be crafters, food trucks, and games, and it's available to our community. And if any of you is interested in helping out, please reach out to the school. And they will be having also a community breakfast during fall break to continue building on their partnerships with each of our community partners. And that's all I have for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn. Members, are there any questions for Marilyn tonight? Okay, seeing none. All right, it is 8:21 and we're getting into elected official reports. I don't see Nestor online for Congressman Case's office. So next up will be Tony for a governor's rep.
Good evening, everyone. Tony Schwartz, the representative for the Governor Green's office. First thing I want to talk about is UH Manoa's new housing complex. Now, I'm not the expert on this. The expert was up here earlier and kind of briefly mentioned it. So I'm basing what I have on what Governor has publicly presented. So if there's any clarification needed, I would happily love it if Sherry came up and helped me with the details of that. But basically, this, sorry, I'm getting over a cold too, sorry. Increasing the availability of affordable housing is one of the top priorities of Governor Green. So the University of Hawaii at Manoa recently unveiled Hale Kaukani, a new $170 million student housing complex on its campus. It officially opened August 18th. With a blessing ceremony, the governor was there, Lieutenant Governor Luke, UH President and other UH officials and community partners. This project is based on a similar model, as we all know, the Mililani SFA Teacher Workforce Housing Project, and it was developed through a P3, public-private partnership. This project prioritizes housing graduate students and junior faculty, but undergraduate students are also eligible for some of the housing. Applicants must be a student or faculty member of the University of Hawaii. And the housing consists of 2 residential towers totaling 558 beds, as well as a new childcare center, as Sherry mentioned, retail space, study rooms, bike storage, laundry facilities, and outdoor amenities like decks on the units. It's fully furnished with and multi-bedroom units, 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. There's a new children's center that will provide opportunities for UH pre-K educators and as many as 130 young students. With the opening of the facility, UH Manoa students now have more than 4,000 beds available on or adjacent to campus, which is the most in the university's history. So for more information about Hale Haukani and UH Manoa student housing, you can visit the manoa.hawaii.edu/housing. And that's what I have for that. If there's questions for that one, I'll take those. But I wanted to also focus on one other announcement that was made recently, and that's education opportunities for state jobs. This would be for people who are obtaining a bachelor's degree and they haven't finished yet, but if they're within 3 months of graduation, they can still apply for state jobs. It was beginning to, September 1st, applicants who are on track to obtain their bachelor's degree by December 2025, so 3 months, will begin applying for open state jobs. The Department of Human Resources and Development is going to accept applications pending verification of the bachelor's degree for applicants who indicate that they are within 3 months. This will allow, and this also includes like February 1 for May graduates. This will allow college students to have a state career lined up without delays after graduation. Students can apply for entry-level professional classes of work, and individuals accepted prior to graduation will need to provide their diploma to the hiring department to verify they have received the degree before the applicant will begin work. Applicants who want to apply can visit DHERD's recruitment website at hawaii.gov/careers for more information. So with that, I'm here for questions.
Thank you, Tony. Members of the board, are there any questions for Tony and the governor's office at this time? Emil, followed by Marilyn.
Just want to ask you, like I'm asking almost 2 years already, other representatives, Governor aware of the infestation by the coconut rhinoceros beetle, which is affecting multiple counties? It's Kauai, Oahu, Maui, as far as I know, also Big Island. Or is he planning to do any, prevention at least, because, the palm trees are decimated?
Governor is aware and the Department of Agriculture is working on a solution, but they also cannot go onto private land without the owners giving a say so. And most of the time owners have to handle that themselves on their private property. The governor is aware and Department of Agriculture has been given extra funds, I believe 50 million, to help with eradication. At this point, it's not eradication. It's more about containment and trying to, keep it neutralized, not let it get more.
I mean, those millions, I think it's like 2.5 was spent on, I think 10 inspectors, which they get salaries, but there is the beetle is multiplying 50 per.
He's aware and they are looking at options right now with the Department of Agriculture.
Mhm.
But if there's any examples of ideas that have been heard from other areas, I think he would welcome that too.
Marilyn.
Given, thank you, Chair. Given some of the conflicting health information coming out from the Capitol, I am glad to hear that we are now joining the Western States Health Consortium, which is going to be giving recommendations, excuse me, on various health issues. And did you want to mention something about that?
I don't have a lot of info about that other than he just recently put out his emergency proclamation on the COVID-19 vaccinations for pregnant women and to allow the Moderna Spikevax vaccine to be, to continue to be administered to people between, I think it was 6 months old and 65 years old here in the state, as medically necessary, based on a doctor's recommendation.
Thank you. And I've gotten both flu shot and
Are there any
the
other
vaccine.
questions? Thank you, Marilyn. Are there any other questions from board members? Okay. Are there any members of the public questions for the governor's office? Seeing and hearing none. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Jocelyn Doan, who's representing the Office of the Mayor. She's online with us. Welcome, Jocelyn.
Kako, mahalo again for having me. Nice to hear updates about my hometown and my old high school and my old elementary school, which is Kipapa. So mahalo for that. Two quick things I wanted to share from the mayor's highlights of the month before I get to the follow-up on questions and concerns that were raised at the last meeting. Firstly, HART has broken ground on the third segment of the rail, which will run from Kalihi to Kaka'ako. And secondly, we wanted to share that the Region 9 Administrator of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development recently visited Honolulu Hale to meet with the 4 county mayors. Our administration reported that they had a very productive conversation about homelessness and housing programs. I know there's been a lot of concerns about funding and the status of some of our programs, but they left that meeting feeling really good. And the regional administrator reaffirmed HUD's commitment to Hawaii and our partnership. So more on that to come as things progress. Last month, there were a variety of different concerns raised. I think we captured all of them. So regarding the dumping situation at Kuahelani Park, where I think the city installed boards on a concrete structure, and one of the members noted that it actually exacerbated the dumping problem. The neighborhood board staff office visited the site, took photos, and a report was submitted on September 6th. Unfortunately, we still haven't heard back, but we are definitely going to follow up and hopefully have a response for the meeting next month. A resident named Valerie in the last meeting expressed concerns about drivers not stopping at stop signs at Mililani Town Center, the shopping center. And there was follow-up by HPD on the 10th. One of our officers spoke with the town center's general manager, and she relayed that they're looking at potentially installing a speed bump in the area. And they're also going to ask the town center security to, try to spend more time at that area. The officer also contacted the Walmart manager because apparently in the area, there's like a line that separates Walmart and the shopping center. So the security guard that works at the shopping center actually doesn't go into the Walmart area or have jurisdiction there. So they've reached out and they're having a meeting next week. One of the members inquired about the sidewalk construction on Kipapa Drive, where it intersects with Kuhilani Avenue. DFM reported that they're doing root pruning. That should be done next Monday. And once that's done, they're going to close up the sidewalk. So it looks like it's going to be finished by the second week of October. One of the members also, a member of the public had raised a bunch of safety concerns about at Mililani District Park, including a hole from an old football goalpost, a missing slide with a sharp metal support at the playground, and the baseball field needing watering. And the hole was filled on September 10th. The sharp metal support was removed. due to some supply chain issues, the replacement parts are on back order. So once that arrives, our contractor will be installing the replacement. And a work order was submitted on the 12th of September to inspect and repair the irrigation system. But of course, we are all being very mindful of water conservation at this time. There were two more. One was related to construction at Kamayo Park. Again, another sidewalk. Unfortunately, we weren't able to, Parks, basically told us it wasn't their project, so we're waiting on feedback from our other agencies on that one. So we need to follow up on that. And then the last issue that I have recorded, I think member Ann Freed had expressed her concerns about her condo's community pipe replacement project. So in general, I think folks may know that DPP is in the process of updating their software, which is going to be great once they get through the transition. The transition has resulted in a backlog in general. So they're working through the kinks on that. Member Freed, if you have the address for your condo, I'm happy to take that to follow up on your specific permit, but I wasn't really sure when we brought it up, if it was just like a general, like what's happening over there, or if you wanted us to follow up on the permit. So if you want to get me the address for that, I'm happy to follow up on that. Mahalo.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Members of the board, are there any questions to the mayor's rep? Emil?
Yes, I have a question about the rail. Are we still on time to open the route all the way to the airport next month with this new Hitachi lawsuit, which might be, a couple $100 million?
The last I heard at our cabinet meeting, we were, but I'm happy to check on that to follow up. It's still on my calendar. I think a couple weeks from now, but I will follow up to confirm and get back to you.
Thank you.
Are there any other board members who have questions for the mayor's representative tonight? And why don't you direct message Jocelyn, or you can email her the address she was asking for, so you don't have to say the address online for security.
Okay, I don't know how to do that because I don't have Jocelyn's information.
I'm gonna
Jocelyn,
put it in chat right now.
Perfect. And then you folks can go sidebar. Are there any members of the public with questions to the mayor's office? Okay, seeing and hearing none. Thank you so much, Jocelyn. See you next month. Next up, we have Councilmember Waipi'o. Thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Chair Bass, members of the board here in person and online, and whoever may be here from the community. Councilmember Mililani-Waipi'o from District 8. I'm happy to be here with you tonight. Before you have handed out to you my written report, I will just go over a couple of highlights. And as you may have noticed, usually you'll get these reports at the end of the month and they're written in the beginning. So I may give some updates from the information since it's printed. So one of the highlights of this past month was actually having the Mililani High School softball team come to the Hale. We were able to recognize them. We did so last year also, but this being their second consecutive state championship title, we're so happy to have them, and also really honored to have Senator Kidani join us. She was so key in starting the Bobby Sox, and it was fun because some of the head coach was one of her players back when she was a coach. So that was a really great honor. And I'm always so, proud to represent our Mililani community and thankful for the members in the community who excel and are able to allow me to brag on them a little bit. Other than that, you have my written report, some updates. So currently we are in our committee hearings week this week. Tomorrow is our last day, and we have moved some measures forward. Our next full council hearing will be on October 1st. The scheduling is a little different. Usually we have a week in between committees and full council, but this month it's going to be consecutive. and it will be at Kapolehale. At that time, we have another group from Mililani who will be joining us, a group of soccer players from the Rush 2011 U14 soccer team. They will be joining us. And I heard there's a big group of parents and family that are coming, but we are going to be at Kapolehale if you would love to come and join us. If not, you will see pictures of it in the next report. And I was also really grateful to join Chair Bass and Member Lee, as well as Representative Matsumoto at the Mililani Complex PCD. It's always great to connect with former teachers and fellow friends. This year, I was actually able to stay to do some of the workshops. I missed Chair Bass's ag talk, but I probably wouldn't have, added much value to that discussion anyway. But I was able to join the culinary students in the cafeteria and go down to I guess it was a wood shop where I did some sanding of charcuterie board. That's not what I thought the workshop was going to be about, but it was fun nevertheless. Some quick legislative updates. So in my news report, my newsletter, I do have some bills on here. Bills 49 and 50, both from this year, 2025. Those are co-introduced by myself and Chair Waters. And since the time that this newsletter was printed, both of those measures have passed and have been adopted. Bill 49 raises the real property tax homeowners exemption for taxpayers 65 and older, and the amounts will increase from $160,000 to $180,000 effective July 1st, 2027. And Bill 50 raises homeowners exemption base from $120,000 to $140,000 for owners' principal home. That also was adopted and passed. So it will take effect July 1st, 2027. Moving in conjunction with these two measures is Bill 34, which we just heard yesterday in our Zoning and Planning Committee, and that also was passed. This is a bill that's been waiting, has been in motion for several years, and I think it's on its way to hopefully being adopted. This measure adjusts assessed value thresholds for Res A properties and for our TVUs. So the introducer of this bill, who is Esther Kia Aina, she has the tiers broken onto 3. Right now we have 2. And so if you look at the newsletter, it kind of gives you a breakdown of it. So now tier 1 will be up to $1.3 million versus the $1 million. And that's going to be at the 4% per square foot tax. Tier 2 is 1.3 to 3.5. And then tier 3 will be the over 3.5. And that's to, again, really help our local residents as property values have increased. So are the assessment values. And so this is to help out the local residents who are living in the primary homes that is, especially in Mililani, the property values have so greatly, accelerated and they're so highly inflated, but the homeowners may have been there from the beginning. So this is to help that. These proposed rates, again, we will be voting on this next week, actually in full council on October 1st, and that will be its 3rd reading. So it has been having good response from my colleagues and myself. So hopefully it'll pass. And when I come back or my next report is given, that will be adopted. I just wanted to give a couple of, or maybe just one, I think there was a community concern that was brought to my office's attention. Following up on this, there were multiple concerns located at the Mililani District Park, and my team followed up. So the final response from the Department of Parks and Recreation, a work order was submitted on September 12th to inspect and repair the irrigation at Mililani District Park regarding the missing slide. A chain supply issue has resulted in equipment being placed on back order. The missing slide will be replaced by the contractor when delivery of the replacement equipment arrives on Oahu. Finally, the hole was inspected by DPR staff and has been addressed. It is no longer a safety issue. I'm trying to see if there's anything. Oh, no. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else in my newsletter that I wanted to cover. I did have just a side note. We were able to, I guess, install a new youth commission. So I allowed another youth commission commissioner from our district, and she's actually from Mililani. She's a senior here at this high school, Abiana Moore. So previous to her, I had allowed another Mililani resident who had been a student. I think he was at Punahou. He had the opportunity for the last 2 years. So this year, I'd like to try and introduce new youth to it. So she's a senior year at this high school. She's really bright, and she is now representing District 8, which not just encompasses Mililani, but it goes all the way to Aiea. She's representing District 8 on our youth commission, and she's wonderful. I've been able to Zoom with her and she's on fire, talking about resolutions. And she actually was on a podcast with the mayor and the youth commission chair, I think a few weeks ago. And I think that was it. If I missed anything, you can remind me, but I will gladly take questions at this time.
Members, thank you. Members, any questions for Councilmember Wakimoto? Catherine?
I called the city council office. They have a bill number 60. Are you aware of that bill? I took down some notes, but
Can you remind me, because is it 2025? Is it 20? I vaguely remember. I'm trying to think if that was the bill we saw today or
said
not.
there
What was
going to
the,
be like a committee hearing, but I was too busy to
what
call
was the
back
bill
on
regarding?
Monday to see if it's
Okay.
on the agenda. But
I feel like I may have, but do you remember,
I'm not
what?
sure if it
Okay.
was something to do with the extension of the rail going to UH.
Oh, okay.
Is
Okay.
that the bill?
I think it's a reso. Or is it, I know council members of Santos Tam and Cordero have introduced a measure, and it was to do a study with that intent to see what the rail, if they can extend the rail to UH Manoa. We actually discussed that this morning in our transportation committee, and we have, I think from what I remember today, we adopted a CD1 version of it, but the Heart board needs to meet to see if they, to give input, because the measure was so new that they haven't been able to meet. So they meet, I want to say in the next week or so. And before we meet again, we will hopefully get a response from them.
Any other questions for Councilmember Okimoto? Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's see. Is Kelly here for? She's online? I don't see her. Oh, there's Kelly. Kelly for Councilmember Wire's office.
Hello, Chair and members of the board. Kelly Anaya from Councilmember Matt Wire's office. A couple of things I want to mention. Councilmember started doing a mobile district office. Our next event is going to be held on Friday, October 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the Wahiawa District Park in the Halikoa Room. I know it's a little bit of ways from Mililani, but if you're available to join us, please feel free to stop by. These district hours are just a casual opportunity to get updates from stuff going on in the district, ask questions, report any concerns to council member. So we look forward to seeing you there. Would also like to remind everyone about some of the real property tax deadlines coming up next week, Tuesday, September 30th. For the homeowners exemption, Councilmember wanted to highlight that if you have a family home where one of the owners has recently passed, please be sure to confirm that the current title holders are signed up for the exemption, because it doesn't just transfer over. We also want to highlight the real property tax credit, which will cap property tax at 3% of a homeowner's income. Qualifying households would be making $80,000 a year or less to be qualified. I'll put the information to the real property tax website, phone number and email in the chat if anyone has any questions. Also wanted to highlight a site visit. Councilmember would like to thank the state DLNR as well as the U.S. Air Force for coordinating a site visit to the summit of Mount Ka'ala. Councilmember joined the area representatives along with the Wahiawa and Wailua Hawaiian Civics Club, as well as community members from both Wahiawa and North Shore. Some of the conservation work that is in progress includes restoration of native forests, as well as propagation of the endangered land snails. As Chair Bass mentioned earlier, I can confirm that DPP did report yesterday that they did receive the withdrawal letter from the developer regarding Mount Ka'ala. However, I was also informed that they also received a new application for a minor modification. I have not seen that application, so I can't really share anything about that, but please don't give up. Fight's going to continue. So thank you for your support of the North Shore Neighborhood Board. Also wanted to highlight the HPD traffic awareness campaign. Councilmember has been honored to support our District 2, 3, and 4 HPD CPTs in their Safer Roads Together campaign. With the rise of traffic-related fatalities, across the island, Councilmember would like to encourage everyone to do their part to drive with aloha, stay focused, and to please help keep our roads safe for everyone. And then lastly, we would also like to thank Chair Bass for her email regarding the Blue Hawaiian helicopter situation a couple weeks ago. Our office was aware. We did receive multiple calls and concerns regarding the situation. And just to let everyone know, Councilmember did send in a testimony in opposition of the measures. That's all I have for today, or tonight rather. If anyone has any questions for Councilmember, I can take them back.
Thank you, Kelly. Members of the board, are there any questions for Councilmember Wire's office? Members of the public, any questions for Councilmember Wire's office? Just a friendly reminder, Kelly, for the resolution that the board passed, in terms of Mount Ka'ala, please, that'll continue to represent our position since they've been resolved. Language was quite broad regarding the project. So I would cite those be it resolved references in the resolution so that this board doesn't have to keep passing resolutions,
No problem. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Next up, we got Trevor for Senator Kidani's office.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, members of the public. My name is Trevor Nagamine. I'm here on behalf of Senator Michelle Kidani tonight. So first off, as Senator Kidani would like to thank Chair Bass for her leadership in bringing the Blue Hawaiian helicopters altitude proposal to her attention. And so Senator did submit comments, in opposition to the proposal to the FAA. Senator would also like to announce that DOE is revitalizing school lunch menus with more locally grown and produced foods, thanks to the local farm to school initiative and Accept 175, which was passed earlier this year. So new menu offerings will be local Wala yogurt bowl with dragon fruit. So Wala is sweet potato, local ulu banana bread. So ulu is breadfruit, Korean beef bowls made with local ground beef, hamburger curry or hamburger stew with local ulu and taro, and scratch-made chicken adobo. And one more announcement. So DOT will be moving ahead with a repaving project for Kamehameha Highway, not in Mililani itself, but this will be from Waipahu Street up to Ka'uka Boulevard. So this is like in the Waipi'o Gentry and Waikele Seaview Crestview area. So the project is currently in the design phase and is scheduled to go out to bid in February of next year. And hopefully we'll see construction begin, later, sometime later next year. And so this is funding for this project was included in this year's budget bill, HB 300, which was included with support from Senator Kidani. So other than that, I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Trevor. Members of the board, are there any questions for Senator Kidani's office? Members of the public, are there any questions for Senator Kidani's office? Okay. Seeing and hearing none, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Charles Miller online for Senator Dela Cruz.
Hi, Chair. Hi, Board. Charles Miller here from Senator Dela Cruz's office. I just have a quick report. Just an update on the memorandum of understanding between DOE and the City and County of Park for the new Mililani Middle School parking lot. The MOA is currently with the city director who is consulting their corporation counsel. I'll continue to provide updates as DOE provides them, and then Senator plans to attend the Mililani Homecoming Parade and the game. And that's all I have. Thank you. And I'm happy to take back any questions.
All right, members of the board, are there any questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? All right, members of the public, any questions for Senator Dela Cruz's office? Thank you so much, Charles.
Perfect. Thank you, Chair.
All right, we have Representative Matsumoto here tonight. Thank you for being here.
Okay, good evening, board members of I was going to say committee, members of the board and members of the public. We have our newsletter that came out. We also turned it in digitally so you can see it there. So there's a lot of community events that have been happening. And so of course we were able to go to the Straub Clinic. So happy that's there. Already went to it with my son. So it's not a good thing, but it's nice that it's there and we don't have to drive far. So that was wonderful. Been able to work with HPD. They did a whole campaign on safe driving with our schools. So I was able to sign with them, wave with them at UCA as well as Mauka. We were able to also celebrate with Rep La Chica, the Summer Reading Grand Prize winner who was from Mililani. So out of the over 23,000 people who entered the summer reading program, which my family all did, the winner actually was from Mililani. So we also the one things that I really wanted to cover is we are doing our Capitol Talkin' Tour again. That is on October 9th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the state capitol. And we're doing it during fall break. So that way students can come. But if you don't have students, it's not just for them. Anybody from the public can come. We just ask that you RSVP because we are going to the lieutenant governor and governor's offices that they're opening for us. And they do ask for a general head count. So if you can please RSVP, you can scan the QR code on our newsletter, or you can go to repmatsumoto.com and there will be a pop-up for the Capitol Talkin' Tour. There also is our pre-session survey. So if you live in District 38, you have already gotten or will be getting your District 38 survey. Again, that's how we shape our caucus bill package. Sorry, not our caucus bill package, our bill package from my office. And so participation is really, really important. I apologize. It's been a long, long day. And so please respond to that. We normally get around 700 to 800 responses. It does make a huge difference. And then we put all of that information up on our website. There is a whole bunch of information on the back with community events. So please take a look at that. And I just wanted to also say, just on a side note, we did have last month our listening tour that we did with our caucus. And so that's why I wasn't able to be here last month. And so we went to 5 locations over the course of 5 days. So we started in Mililani. So thank you for those who came. We went to Mililani, then Moanalua, Waianae, Eva, then Hawaii Kai. And we did an interactive survey asking people, what are the most important issues that you think that we need to be talking about this evening? What was interesting, from every single location, the top 3 issues were the same. And I thought that was something that was very important to note and was interesting for me because there was 15 options they could choose from on what they wanted to speak about that evening. And so not surprisingly, cost of living was number 1 in every single area. Then it was crime and public safety with emergency preparedness in there. And then the third one was government transparency, which I thought was pretty interesting. And so those were the top 3, whether you're in Mililani-Waipi'o or Hawaii Kai. We are going to have those results up if you want to take a look at it. We also dug deeper and asked lots and lots of interactive questions on, when it comes to cost of living, what adds to your cost of living? What is the thing that costs you the most every month? And so things like that, we dug deeper in. And so it was, again, an interesting tour. So sorry I wasn't here last month, but we were doing that event. And so with that, I will end my report for this evening, because this is obviously not my most eloquent report that I've ever given.
It was a good report. Thank you so much. Members of the board, are there any questions for Representative Matsumoto? Emil.
Question. The Capitol Talk and Tour, is
Yes.
it Wednesday or is it Thursday?
Oh no, do we have the wrong day on there?
And
Thursday is October 9th, right?
Thursdays.
October 9th is the date.
October 9th. Okay.
Good job on the correction. It is Thursday, October 9th from 10 to 12. And again, please sign up. Please come on down. It's a wonderful event that we do every fall break, and we also do it spring break. So that way you can see what it's like. It's easier to walk around when we're not in session, but then during spring break, you can see what the Capitol is like during session.
Are there any other members of the board who have a question for Representative Matsumoto? Okay, are there any members of the public who has any questions for Representative Matsumoto at this time? None, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next up, Tosa from Representative LaChica's office.
Aloha, Chair Bass, members of the board, and neighbors both in person and online. Tosa Lobendon, Office Manager for Representative LaChica, who unfortunately could not join us tonight. She is currently with House Speaker Nakamura in Taiwan, along with the rest of the Hawaii-Taiwan delegation. However, she sends her warmest aloha for tonight's meeting. I dropped some links in the chat, similar to last month. We have our August-September newsletter. We're all doing newsletters. We all want to do legislative viewpoints from everyone, so we want to make sure that you guys get it in. So if you did get our newsletter, please make sure to fill it out. I also dropped the bit.ly to the link itself for the survey. So if you did not get the newsletter but you would like to complete the survey, please feel free to do so. It helps us guide all of our choices for 2026 and the legislative session, and we greatly look forward to your response. We also have an exciting update. In July, we shared the agrivoltaic site visit we had, and now we've scheduled it for the community. I did mention this last month. However, we will be having a tour next week, October 1st, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We do have about 3 or 4 spots left, so if you are interested, I have dropped in my email in the chat. You can also contact us at 808-586-6150 to reserve your spot. Finally, on behalf of Office Representative LaChica, we would like to formally invite you to this year's Philly Rooted Festival 2025, a pilot event happening to celebrate Filipino history, heritage, and culture for Filipino American History Month in October. There will be 5 separate events happening at the Capitol Modern for the Philly Rooted Festival. However, we highly encourage you to take a look at your local newspaper to get a full list of events in your community to celebrate the important living legacy Filipinos have in Hawaii. One highlight we especially are excited about is the free concert with Ruby Ibarra, winner of the 2026 90 Desk Award, on October 25th. Tickets are limited, so please visit phillyrooted.com to reserve yours soon. That link is also in the chat. Mahalo for this evening. I'm happy to take questions or concerns, and please know our office is always open. Thank you, Chair Bass.
Thank you, Tosa. Members of the board, are there any questions for Rep. LaChica's office? Okay. Members of the public, are there any questions for Representative LaChica's office at this time? Well, Tosa, easy night for you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay, next we have Representative Amy Peruso. I don't see her here in person. Is there a representative for her office online tonight? Okay, seeing none. Our next meeting will be here at Mililani High School, H Building, Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. And of course, you can always catch us if you want more of this on Olelo Channel 49 and Olelo Channel 54. With that, it is 9:01 and this board meeting is adjourned.